Hi, my name is Casey Harris, and this is my social work post on the TED Talk Can Art Amend History? So, my first and kind of biggest thought on this TED Talk is that it's a topic I haven't ever really considered before, and that really stood out to me when he mentioned that asking the question, why were the African American and the Native American walking while Theodore Roosevelt was on his horse, was a question that he would never have asked just looking at the statue. That really hit me because I don't think I would have ever asked that either. But then as soon as he pointed it out, it really hit me as, wow, yeah, why is that? And obviously it's because those are two people that have been kind of oppressed in the past, and our history is not great in terms of we like to put certain groups of people above others, particularly white males, and that just kind of shows it. And it made me think about all of the statues that are still around in the United States, and I'm sure around the rest of the world, that have this effect on people. Like, I know in downtown Raleigh there are still Confederate monuments, which there's an argument to be made that those kind of honor people who were fighting for the area and that type of thing. But I've never thought about kind of the effect that something like that might have on someone coming from a background of oppression or anything like that. So him saying, can we amend monuments, is something that I thought was a really great question because, like I said, if we just start taking things down and trying to act like it didn't happen, I feel like that's almost just as bad, maybe not completely, but almost just as bad as just leaving them up, because it's kind of just trying to forget about our history instead of trying to learn from it and trying to see where we've been so we can make sure that we follow a better path going forward. So the idea of amending monuments and paintings is something I really thought was bright and a great way to approach the subject, because we can try to make a bigger impact than just acting like stuff never happened. And showing that on his painting by blurring out the figures, not completely erasing them. I know he made a point to say the oil would show the faces after a little bit and you could see them towards the end, but it was crazy to see how much of a difference it made to just have the white and the dog, the white people and the dog in the picture blurred out, and you could really see the young African American male in the picture and how he was just behind all of them and not the center. And like Titus said, you didn't really know anything about him, versus everything in art is very important, especially back in that time when families would have paintings like this made in order to show off their wealth. And it could, the boy could be there just so they could show, hey, look, we have some type of house servant or something like that. So even then he's kind of an item and not a person. And just centering that picture on him was a great way to speak that and to just bring attention to it in a way that I don't think just talking about it would have done. I think if we just sat and looked at the painting, I wouldn't have had the same kind of emotional connection to seeing the rest of the people blurred out and then that little boy's just kind of staring out at me. And it definitely shifts my gaze to him. And then it's just, like I said, it's an emotional connection. At least for me, I've always been very emotionally connected to art. And watching that video was very, very awesome to see. And I love TED Talks, and that was probably one of the favorite ones that I've seen because it really made me think. And, I'm sitting here trying to process, and I'm not very good about speaking my thoughts. I'm better at writing, but those are just kind of my 2 cents on it. So thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the TED Talk as much as I did.